Hey, and welcome back to another Q&A episode. And today I'm joined with the lovely Daniella del Carpio. She is from DDD Fitness. My name is Richu Bra, and I am the Girl Boss, or my program's called the Girl Boss Method. So anyway, here we are today going over a couple of questions that you ladies have sent through. So there's quite a few of them based around sort of fitness this week. And so, yes, Daniela and I will be answering these questions with tips and tricks and also just going through how this can affect your lifestyle as we move throughout the year as well. Daniela, how are you today?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for having me once again. Every Tuesday, remember, guys, we're here every Tuesday morning, New Zealand time, and Monday night. Yeah, for UK time. But happy to be here. We have quite a few questions.
We do.
So I think let's go straight into it because there's quite a few questions to answer. So hopefully we can answer all your questions today.
Yes. Okay. So the first question, Daniela, would you like to ask the first one?
Yeah, I'll go first. So someone asked, my goal is to gain muscle mass. How much, or should I be adding any cardio to my routine?
Okay.
That's a really good question. Yeah.
That's a great one. Okay.
Yeah, what do you think?
So when it comes to building muscle mass, so firstly, we need to make sure that we are engaging in resistance training. We need to be lifting weights. We need to be working through resistance training that's going to allow us to build that muscle mass and produce that stimulus for us to grow. Second to that, you do need to focus on the nutrition. So we obviously want to think about building muscle. We want our protein in there. We want to think about the calories that we're having as well. These are going to differ from person to person or individual to individual. There's no one size fits all with this. And your question really was centered around cardio and how much to do. So this is the thing. If you are already engaged in cardiovascular training or endurance training or anything like that, firstly, we need to find out what type of cardio is it. Are you saying cardio and does it relate to HIIT training? Are you saying cardio and does it relate to going out and running? What we do know, or what we have been told previously, should I say, is that when you are looking to build muscle, you cannot do it whilst trying to also increase your cardiovascular capacity. Now, I would actually say that, again, that depends on individuals. And I think for anyone who's actually engaging in any training or gym training for the first time, I think you'll probably find that doesn't matter as much. Doing cardiovascular training, believe it or not, if you are starting to run and you've never done it before, you might actually start seeing some physical changes, which are going to allow you to see which are going to allow you to still build muscle. And if you are someone who is a seasoned trainer, you've been going to the gym for a long time and maybe you can't see how much muscle you've built, cardio is definitely going to help add to showing it a little bit more by way of disrupting that energy balance, if you like, or creating that energy deficit. Would you agree, Daniela?
Yeah, but I think something I will say is I will suggest cardio most of the time. Depends case to case, everyone's different. But I will suggest it for two reasons. Number one, we're talking about gaining muscle mass, okay? Number one, I will suggest it because sometimes if you don't have that cardio, you might be gaining too much body fat, which gaining body fat is going to happen if you're trying to gain muscle mass because we're eating more calories. Remember, we're in a caloric surplus. So just a way to making sure that we don't gain too much excess body fat, doing that extra cardio, it's something good to add. And also just improve your cardiovascular health. So obviously you're not going to improve and be able to run like 100 kilometers in 20 seconds, but it's just going to ensure that you are keeping up with your cardio, you're keeping up with your health, and you just have a healthy cardiovascular system and everything is working nice and healthy. But again, it just depends case to case. For some people, adding some cardio, I might not suggest it, especially if you already have a very active lifestyle. If your job is very active and you're like running up and down, picking up heavy boxes, and you're trying to gain muscle mass, if we add more cardio, you're just going to be doing too much, and it's not going to help you get those results. But if you're someone who's very sedentary and you're just like sitting down the whole day, office work, just in the computer in front of the screen, and you only go to the gym for 1 hour and that's all the training that you get, then adding a little bit of cardio, going for a walk, it will be good also for your mental health, to get you a little bit more distracted and you're not like sitting down on your computer 24/7. So yeah, it just case is a case. I will say majority of the time, yes. But if we don't know too much about you, then we cannot give you like straight yes or no answer.
And Daniela, I wanted to add to that, because actually, I've definitely seen with people who have, gym goers, other gym goers, I've seen them, guys, for example, when they've been trying to build muscle for years, but on the side they've been playing football, and as soon as they stopped the vast amount of cardio that they've been doing in football, have suddenly been able to grow or build more muscle. So that's a really valid point there for that you've said as well, for our seasoned trained people. But yeah, totally agree with you with those that are kind of new to exercise, right?
Yeah. And let me ask you something. What exactly do you mean? Because I'm sure there's gonna be people asking. What does she mean by seasoned people? Like seasoned.
Yeah. I know, spicy people, hey? No, seasoned. When I say seasoned, seasoned meaning that somebody who's a regular gym goer. You've been going for a long time. So whether that's, you've been involved in a program for many years, or potentially you've been someone that goes to the gym, doesn't have a program, but you are quite versatile in terms of you're quite, your body is familiar with lots of different resistance training exercises. So, you've been doing all of the dumbbell work, the barbell, the machines. You're quite well practiced. You've spent a lot of time around gyms, and that's not by any means got to mean that you've got to look like an athlete. It's just the whole experience. You are experienced in going to the gym.
Yeah, like the machines, the name of the exercises, your way around the gym. So that's exactly what we mean. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Yeah, because I'm sure people are gonna be like, what does she mean by
I do drop that a lot.
What is she talking about? Yeah.
I quite like it, actually. Yeah. All right. So I've got a question for you. So let's talk a bit about metabolism, because I find that this question that's been asked is quite a common one. How can I maintain or improve my metabolism as I get older? We're all going to be concerned with this, right? Or we all should be. So Daniela, please tell us your what you recommend, or what your experience is so far with your clients.
I will say the best way to maintain or improve your metabolism, it's literally just doing the simple and basic things. So just ensuring that you are having a good meal plan. And by meal plan, I don't mean you have to follow something so strict, but just make sure you're getting a good intake of protein, a really good intake of carbohydrates and fats, so a good balance between your macronutrients, and you're eating healthy. You're not eating, rubbish junk food every single day. The second thing, ensuring that you add some type of training. I will suggest resistance training over anything else, but obviously I cannot push you to do something that you don't want to do. It's just, I know by experience and, all the information out there, resistance training and working on your muscles, it helps you so much, especially long-term with your metabolism, just being stronger, feeling stronger with your mindset. So I know strength training is something that can literally change you physically and mentally. But if there's not something that you enjoy, because I know not everyone enjoys going to the gym or doing, weightlifting, then find something that you like, making sure you have a good rest, prioritize your rest time, your recovery, and staying hydrated. For me, and for the things I've done with my clients, working on those 4 things are literally a game changer. And it's never too late to get started. I have a few clients who are 50, 59, and when they came to me, they feel like maybe it's too late for me to do something. My metabolism is already too slow. There's no way I can change things. And like, yes, you might not be able to change it 100%, but you can make it work better. You can improve, your metabolism. You can improve everything inside you. You can improve, how your body's working. So I will say it's never too late. Get it started right now. It doesn't matter how old you are. with your resistance training, with your diet, with the way you eat, make a change, make those changes, those healthy changes, and that's gonna change you and help you so much. But what do you think? Is there anything else you will suggest or anything different?
Yeah, interesting. Definitely. No, I definitely agree with everything you've said about metabolism. And again, especially when you talk about recovery, sleep is where most of the magic happens. And so we are going to just be able to metabolize things better. Our hormonal health is going to improve as well, just by focusing on adequate sleep. And as you've said as well, resistance training, and a good balanced diet. Yeah. So I like that one. Nice.
Yeah, it's never too late, guys.
Never too late.
Okay, another question, also related to cardio. So someone asked, how long should I spend on cardio?
Okay.
I don't know. Like, yeah, I feel like it's not a very specific question.
No.
So,
Yeah. So how long should you spend? I think it depends on what your goal is, firstly. And we have recommended guidelines here in the UK for cardiovascular exercise in terms of staying healthy. I could be wrong here, so don't quote me, but I think I recall it being something like 30 minutes a day where you are pushing yourself to get out of breath, or not like massively fatigued, but it needs to be cardio where you are working at least 60 to 70% of effort. So firstly, you need to make sure that it's working you enough. And then in terms of time, again, 30 minutes, when it doesn't mean you've got to go to the gym and do 30 minutes of cardio every time you go to the gym or every day. That just literally means going for a good long, good walk, and all of us really should be aiming for 10K steps a day, if not like 16. I'm pretty sure I saw a study a while back where they'd seen like cardiovascular health improvements literally by doing 16K steps a day. Like, it's so important to stay active. So when we have these recommendations out there that are saying 30 minutes daily, it's just trying to get active, because unfortunately for most of us, we live very sedentary lifestyles. So when we take it to health, that's the first thing that we need to think of. And then obviously, Daniella, if there is a reason why we're utilizing cardio, are we using cardio because we are trying to improve our cardiovascular fitness for a specific reason? So is there, are you engaging in your first run, or your first charity cycle or something? Is there an event taking place? And then second to that, when we're thinking about body composition, or even if we're trying to slim down for, let's say, a holiday, or hey, New Year's is coming up right now. People might want to add in extra cardio because they want to look a little nicer in their Christmas or festive outfits and stuff. So using cardio to help create that energy deficit. And again, that could, depending on what your coach prescribes, it could be anything from half an hour to 45 minutes or an hour. I don't really suggest, unless it's goal related to something very specific, going and doing hours on hours a day. You're going to burn through, by doing vast amounts of cardio, you're going to be burning through muscle and fat as well. Unfortunately, we need to try and maintain that muscle mass. So it's not just about being a cardio bunny to get the burn and to burn calories. We need to think about balance here, guys.
Yeah, I love what you said. And two things I want to add to that. First thing, obviously we cannot tell you exactly you should be doing 20 minutes cardio a day, 7 days a week. But if you're someone that right now you're not doing any cardio at all, I will just get started with at least 10 to 15 minutes of something, whether it's going for a small walk around the block or just doing a few jumping jacks literally in your house, just something to keep you active and to work on your cardiovascular fitness. And the second thing, when you do your cardio, like Richu said, you don't have to do something that is too intense, because I know some people feel like, if I don't sweat, it means that I didn't work hard enough. If I don't sweat, it just, I need to make sure I sweat. I need to make sure I go for a run and like get really nice and sweaty. Like, so people, I don't know why, but they feel like I need to have that sweat on me. Otherwise, it just means I didn't work, or I need to work a little bit harder. But remember that sweat, it's just water.
Yeah.
Nothing else. Sweat, it's not your body fat or your cells, your fat cells coming out of your body. It's not like that. I
It's
used to
not
feel
your
that
fat
way.
crying. Is that?
Yeah, it's not a
Have
it's
you
not your
heard
fat crying.
of that
It's
one?
literally just water, guys. Just
Yeah.
water releasing from your body, nothing else. Okay, so sweat is just water. Just because you're releasing that water, it doesn't mean you're losing body fat. It's just a way of your body to cool down. Because if you're running or walking really fast and you're getting hot and your temperature is going up, your body needs to release that water. Because our body is very smart. So it's a good way to just cool down, relax, make sure you're not overheating or like overcooking. So it's just water. Those are the only two things I will add.
Yeah, love that. Perfect. Okay, my turn to pick a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, what are the best exercises for preventing or managing age-related muscle loss?
I love this question.
Mm.
I love this question so much because I'm
These
gonna
are
go.
all women aging, but I am in that age group.
Yeah. Yeah, guys, believe it or not. I know that Richu, she looks very young. She looks extremely young, but she's maybe not the age that you were thinking. I don't know if you want to share your age, Richu. If you do
Oh
it. If you
wow.
don't,
Okay, you put me on the spot. So on my next birthday, so I think I've got 5 months, I will be 40, 40.
which is crazy because I remember the first time you told me, I was like, what? There's no
Mm.
way you're 39. And you're like, yep, I'm
Yeah,
39. I was
yeah.
like, this whole time I thought you were like 29 or like 30,
I'm
31.
young
I never thought
forever.
you were 39. And
Yeah.
this just shows you like if you add resistance training and you look after yourself,
Mm.
it will help you so much. And you're gonna look amazing by the age you get 40, 50, 60. It's
Yeah.
because you're looking after yourself and your body. And that's literally a game changer.
Water, sleep,
Water.
exercise, breathing, happy thoughts, maintaining relationships, maintaining positive outlook on life. I think all these things help. And that's not just me speaking. Daniela, you've got quite a few older clients as well, and so do I. And honestly, when I look at them, it's all about having that mindset as well. That really does help prevent the aging. So let's stop using the excuse of I'm too old for that, right? Never
Age
too
is
late.
just a number, nothing else. Age is just like the numbers on the scale that when you get, annoyed when you don't see those numbers going down or not going up.
Yeah.
Age, it's just numbers are just numbers. Don't let those numbers play with you or like make you think things that are not that way. But yeah, going back to your question, something that I
Yes.
would suggest there, I wouldn't say like there are specific exercises like do squats, do lunges, do shoulder press, but I would say add resistance training. And with resistance training, I will prefer or I will suggest if it's like actually lifting weights, but if you don't have access to weights, just doing some resistance with like body weight exercises, that will also be great. That will be way better than just sitting at home and doing absolutely nothing. So any type of resistance, whether it's with a resistance band, body weight, picking up some dumbbells, going to the gym and like using some machines, cables, machines at the gym, I will say that's the best way that you can work on improving your health and making sure that you don't lose too much muscle mass. Because when we age, remember, our muscle mass decreases, and our muscle mass start decreasing at the age of 30. So I know 30 sounds like a very young age, but when you are 30 and then 31, your muscle mass will slowly start reduce. So you want to make sure that you add that resistance training, and you want to make sure that you have a really good protein intake, because those two are going to go together and they're going to help you so much to stay healthy, maintain healthy, and make sure that you're not losing too much of that muscle mass that you're going to need it when you're older.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that's my advice.
No, that's really good advice. And I also look at, like you say, retaining or building the muscle mass now. It's like an investment. It's like an investment for the future as well. You're investing in, helping, all those bags that you're going to be carrying, moving, doing things around the house yourself, whether it's gardening, whether it's taking pots of a pan and a pot and then filling it up with water, tongue twisting there, and then carrying it from the sink to the stove. It's all those things that we need to retain muscle mass for. And also massively, it does not sound sexy, but fall prevention. Falls happen because muscles get weak. And you know what, I challenge you, if you're listening, to actually see if you can stand on one leg for a minute. Right. I know it sounds so funny and random, but just honestly, really just challenge yourself. Start doing things that really challenge you as well. It's so important. But believe it or not, I've asked, I've seen people in the gym, and when we first started working together, and they can't stand on one leg, and they're like 25. It's crazy. So building muscle is going to help that.
Yeah. And also, like, I can tell you guys this from my own experience. Like, my dad, he was someone that he was always exercising since a very young age. He will go for runs, and then he started lifting weights, and then he's doing push-ups, pull-ups, and then he's always been active, always. Like, from the day he was, maybe not from the day he was born, but from a very young age, he was very active. And then at the age of 50, I think 55 or 50, 55, he got a stroke, which obviously changed his life forever. But when he got the stroke, he lost so much weight, like so much weight. He went from being 90 something kgs to being 40 kgs.
Wow.
But if it wasn't because he had that much muscle mass on him, if it wasn't because he had that much, that active lifestyle in the past, before the stroke, he wouldn't be with us right now. Like, this is something that saved him. Like, exercise, lifting weights, just being active, being healthy, that's literally something that saved his life. That's why I keep telling you guys, like, lifting weights, it's going to help you so much for your future. And even until this day, like, even though he's sadly stuck in a wheelchair because it happened after the stroke, things happen, he's still exercising. Like, he's having lost that discipline of doing those exercises. He haven't lost that discipline of getting some activity. Obviously, it's not the same way or the same things that he used to do before the stroke, but he knows that this is something that is keeping him alive. And that's why he loves, just being active, staying active. And that changed his mindset as well, because if it wasn't for that, I can guarantee he will be in depression mode right now. I can guarantee he will be so upset. I can guarantee that he will be grumpy 24/7. But he's such a positive person, even though he's not able to travel anymore, even though he's not able to just get up by himself, like, go to the bathroom and take a shower by himself. Game changer. And that's why I'm going to keep pushing you guys to start with your journey. Like, it doesn't matter how old you are, but this can truly change your life forever. So start with your journey right now if you haven't started. Yeah,
Daniella, thank you so much. Thanks so much for sharing with us. Yeah. That was very personal, but also like a reminder for others to just, feel inspired and understand the realness of your journey as well, and your family's journey for your father. Like, it's amazing what, he's been able to do since. And thank you so much. It's incredible when you hear stories like that. It really does put things into perspective, that we're not just working for the now or for the summer. It goes beyond that.
Yeah, it is personal, but I feel like sometimes some people need that wake-up call. Because it just drives me crazy that people wait too long for something to happen to then do something about it. So it's like, but if you're looking after yourself, if you're looking after your body, that can just help you and can help you. Yeah, it can help you ensure that things are better after having that accident. So yeah, this is your wake-up call, guys.
Have you got any more questions for us, Daniella?
I've got one more, just because we are running out of time again. But someone asked, what's the importance of stretching? Or how important is stretching?
Okay, how important is stretching? Right, interesting one. Stretching has been on its own journey, let's say, but stretching, again, it comes down to you and the individual. You'll find that as long as you have the ability to move your joints and you've got good mobility around each of your joints. So whether that's like your shoulders, your elbows, your hips, your knees, your ability to move through your spine, all of those things, stretching per se is not like a have to, but it can help. And it's not to say that it's not needed at all. There's always this back and forth question as, do we really need to stretch? Well, let me ask you, if, for example, as an individual, you find that you're like, let's take a squat, for example, you're trying to squat and you just find that you can't get your knees over your toes properly, and you sort of start to round through your spine and things. Believe it or not, fine, some people may squat like that, but there are things that we can do and preparations we can do to try and mobilize or warm you up or help you increase your flexibility, or that by using some stretching. And especially when we think about like dynamic stretching as well, stretching doesn't always have to be static. Static is quite nice to do sort of, at the end of workouts. There are some benefits, but again, this comes on a case by case, example, basically. Can't think of the words. But it just depends on the individual in front of you. So I won't necessarily, I put stretches in there. I think it's great to do at the end of sessions. It helps you cool down. It helps you relax. It helps you, unlock areas that you have been working on throughout the session. And then also at the beginning, it's just nice to work on some mobility, some more like dynamic movements and things. So I think they're really beneficial. But again, it's going to depend on you. And when you are speaking with your coach, whether that's either me or Daniella, having that conversation, and, whether that's looking at your form or, looking at some exercises feeling quite uncomfortable, like understanding why is that? Is it because you are tight? Are you restricted? And if we think about how we spend our lives, we're sat, our hip flexors, for example, always so quite short and tight and things. So it might be that when you do go to the gym, you need to try and release and stretch those hips before you start loading them. I don't know. What's your take on that subject? I'm all over the place.
Yeah, a little bit. But I do think like stretching is very important. You don't have to stretch to the point that you have to be a gymnast and be like extremely flexible and be able to split. But I think adding some stretching, dynamic stretch, so more like a warm up before your workouts, and also static stretch, so more like static after your workouts. I think it's good for flexibility. It's good to help you with your lifts, and especially when you're doing squats, leg press. Usually people that don't have much hip mobility will struggle with that, and they might feel some like pain around their hips, like the hip growing. So I would say adding those stretches, it will help you with that. And also it might help you prevent injury in the future. So I think having a good routine for stretching before and after, it's amazing. You don't have to stretch for 20 hours. You don't have to spend 10-20 minutes stretching. It can be something as quick as 5 minutes, because you just want to, when it's like static stretches, you want to hold the stretch for 20 seconds, 30 seconds max. You don't want to hold it for too long. So it won't take too much time. Trust me. As soon as you finish your workout, do something really quick. It's something that I always recommend to my clients. And it's something that, I will say, I think add it to your routine, because it will help. But if you're someone who hasn't done any stretches in the past and you're not flexible at all, just take it slow, because you don't want to injure yourself. Do something that you can. Don't push too hard. Let's say if you're stretching your hamstrings, if you cannot go all the way down, obviously don't push it, because you're just gonna pull something there. But just go slowly. Make sure you keep breathing the whole time when you're stretching. And I feel like that makes a huge difference on your training and just on your day-to-day life.
Yeah, definitely. Excellent. Have we got time for one last question, Daniella, or are we going to have to?
But no. We've got time. One more.
One more. Okay, cool. Perfect. Okay. How can I balance fitness with a busy career and family responsibility? This quite often occurs, like everybody at some point that either I speak to, you know, before they engage in my program, or before they even think or consider fitness, and things are not happening for them in their life, they feel like, you know, they're in a rut, and they're here, there, and everywhere, and they can't sort their schedule out. And so how could they possibly fit time in for fitness? So
Yeah.
that's the
Let me just say
question.
one thing.
Go
Yeah.
for it.
Just something for you guys to keep in mind. If you are someone who has a very busy lifestyle and, you know, busy with your kids, busy with work, busy with your partner, with everything, that's never gonna go away. You're always gonna have that job or a different job, but you're always gonna be busy with work. You're always gonna be busy with your family. So just keep that in mind, because if you are using that as an excuse to not get started, then just know that being busy, it's always gonna happen. Now, your question specifically is, how can I fit fitness into my busy schedule? Well, you have to make the time for it. You have to sit down, is something I will suggest. Sit down, look at your schedule. If you don't have one, then the first step is having a schedule, because it's going to help you to have that structure. It's going to give you that structure that you need and maybe is missing right now. It's going to help you to manage your time better, because if you think that you're too busy, it's probably because you're not managing your time too well. So just having that structure, sitting down by yourself. Something that I like to use personally, it's Google Calendars, because it's easier for me to track everything, see everything, assign different colors to different tasks. So I know, okay, green or orange is for the gym, green for my clients, purple for content, etc. So do that, organize everything, and just schedule your whole week. Don't schedule just for the day, because it's gonna take so much time every single day to schedule for the whole day. So do it only one day a week, Sunday, schedule for the whole week, and keep it flexible. A few things might have to change because things happen unexpectedly. So make sure you allow that flexibility, and that's when you can make the time for the gym.
Yeah.
So if you know, okay, I'm going to be working, I start work from 8 a.m. until 5 p.m., for example. Okay, do I want to be working out after or before? I feel like before will be the answer, because if you have kids, maybe you want to spend that time with your kids. So make that time before. If that means you have to wake up early, wake up early. Like, you're not going to die by waking up 30 minutes earlier, 20 minutes earlier. Some people just complain too much about everything. Like, if that means you have to just wake a little bit tiny little bit earlier, do it. If that's the only time you can make the time for the workouts, get it done, and then schedule your workouts for the week. It doesn't have to be 5 days a week if you can only make it 3 times a week. So schedule, let's say, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, so you get rest days in between, you rest on the weekend. But I feel like that's how you make the time, because we make the time for the things that we want to make. We're not too busy, we make the time.
I think that's brilliant. And yeah, I use Google Calendar as well. And you're so right. It's just all about working out what you need to do within the week, what's important, color coding it. And, you know, you need to make time for yourself. And I think quite often, Daniella, I think it's important to note that sometimes the bar is set so high, or people set the bar so high for themselves, and they go, you know, you ever speak to those people and they go, they either do nothing, or they go like 5 days a week the first week they get into a fitness program. And it's like, that is not the way to do it, because you're just going to run out of motivation. You're going to run out of energy. You're going to start neglecting other areas of your life. So you really need to make it fit. And so if that means getting up early, 30 minutes earlier, and before you've got in the shower, for goodness sake, 10 squats, 10 press ups, 10 tricep dips, do them at the end of your bed. You get on with it, and you've made fitness happen. And that's the first step, really. And, you know, engaging in activities with your family as well, I think, is a great idea. One of my clients texted me at the weekend and said that she feels like a completely different person. She's like, I don't recognize this person, because when she meets up with friends now, or people, they will go for a walk. She tries to make a walk happen. Whereas before, it would be meet up with a friend and sit down. And so my advice is always, you know, if you are struggling to find time for fitness or activity or whatever it is, we've all got time for Netflix or whatever other programs or whatever other series and binge watching, God knows what. You need to, you know, if you're going to meet up with people, socialization is great, but grab a coffee and get out, enjoy the fresh air, get walking. That is fitness, guys. Fitness is moving. Fitness is choosing to be active and building that into your lifestyles and your schedules, exactly how Daniella said. So Thank you so much for that one.
Yeah, and one last thing quickly I want to add, how you mentioned now, like, you know, watching Netflix, you can be binging on something. Also, like, look at your day and see like what things or what activities you're doing right now that are not helping you reach your goals. Because if you're spending too much time on your phone, if you're spending too much time watching TV, if you're spending too much time doing something that is just not productive at all, use that time to get some type of exercise, because you can replace that activity with something that is more useful, something that is going to help you remember long term, and something that is going to make you feel better. Okay, you're not going to die if you stop scrolling for 30 minutes. Scrolling, it's only working your finger, you know, your thumb, and you don't need, you know what I mean, like you don't need to do that. That's just a waste of time,
and it's just adding to all of that, you know, negative mindset as well, unfortunately. Like, pick your times, do a time audit on yourself. Guys, that's going to be it for us for this evening or morning, Daniella.
yeah.
I just want to say, yeah, we do this every week. We try and get this happening at least once a week now from Daniella and I. I think we've been a great team together. It's so nice being able to talk back and forth, various different topics, and obviously helping you. So adding more motivation for you, more accountability, more fitness, more understanding, more education, whatever it is. Send us questions as well. We love to hear from you guys about different topics that you're intrigued about, and you know how to tackle different issues. But yeah, I just want to say thanks once again to Daniella for joining me tonight. Yes, any last words from yourself?
No, just thank you, Richu, once again. And for you guys, it's never too late to get started. So stop making excuses, stop overthinking, stop waiting for the perfect time, and just get it done. Get it done, because your future self, it's gonna thank you so much, and your future self is gonna be so happy that you took that action right now to do something about it. And you're not sitting down just watching Netflix and wasting your time on something that it's just not helping you at all.
Yeah, of course. Well, thank you. And for you guys that are listening, if you would like to get in contact with either myself or Daniella, you can find Daniella at Daniella Del Carpio on Instagram. She is DDC Fitness. We've done this way too many times now to make mistakes.
Yeah.
And my name is Richu Bra. You can find me on Instagram as well at Richu Bra. I am the Girl Boss Method. Thank you so much, and we'll see you here next time.